This is why you can't do a deep squat. If your squat looks like this, or if you try to go deep, you basically fall backwards. Well, you gotta fix your ankle mobility because your knee has to go forward or your toes when you squat. I'm Dr. Anthony Davis, and I see this in clinic all the time. People try to turn their squats into deadlifts, or they simply can't get their hips down below their knees. Try this. We're gonna do a knee to wall test for ankle mobility. Now, technically this isn't the best wall because we have this little ledge here, so that's gonna basically be an additional finger's width. So this isn't the best measure, but it'll do. Basically just take your hand and place it at the wall, put your foot, your toes, one hand's width distance away from the wall. With that distance, you should be able to get your knee to touch the wall without your heel lifting. So you go as far as you can, and then if your heel starts to lift, that's as far as you go, right? You should be able to get one hand's width distance and touch the wall without your heel lifting. And then you should be able to do the same thing on the other side. So one hand's width distance, make sure you can touch the wall with the other side. If you can't get a whole hand's width distance and get your knee to the wall, and you can't do it on both sides basically symmetrically, then you gotta work on your ankle mobility. So here are a few things I like to do in clinic when people have ankle mobility issues. So for this one, we're gonna do a lunge, and we're gonna stretch the toes at the same time. So basically we get into a lunge with my toes being stretched. Now you could do this with a block between your foot and the wall, where you put your toes up on the block and stretch your toes out as much as you can. And then we work into a bit of a lunge here. And then we can start to press into the toes. I'll get there in a second. But I'm gonna show you how to do it with the weight. The same thing would apply if you do it against the wall. So take your toes and place them on the handle of a dumbbell. Make sure you clean that dumbbell when you're done. Don't be a jerk. So by stretching the toes, we're going to stretch some of the deeper layer of the back of the calf muscles. So we have the toes stretched here, and then all we do is work on stretching the knee over the toes. And we just hang out in this position. So what we'll do is we'll take 1 minute to just stay here in a passive stretch. And then for another minute, all we do is push the toes into the dumbbell. So I'm loading this up, I'm putting all my weight on my own knee, so that if I push into my foot like I'm pushing on a gas pedal with my toes, that I'm not pushing myself back. So we load up a stretch, we're at end range, and then we fire up the toes and hold that for a good minute. So this is essentially doing PAILs contractions from the functional range conditioning FRC system. Okay, the second one is that we've got to get the superficial layer, the actual calf muscles, your gastrocnemius. So that's going to have a straight knee. And so what we're doing here is we're going into a nice calf stretch with a straight knee, and then I'm bracing against the wall so that I can push my foot like I'm pushing on the gas pedal, and I just press, and I push, but I can't go anywhere because the wall is in the way. So I'm pushing with my calf muscles, but not lifting my heel. So I stay in the stretch for 1 full minute, and then for another minute, I press into the foot for as hard as I can to sustain a full minute of contraction. And this is going to teach those calf muscles to get strong in a lengthened position, which means they're going to be more willing to explore mobility. Another one I like to explore is an assisted squat. So you can't go all the way forward because your heels lift. Well, you can go as far forward as you can while holding on to something, and then exploring this knee forward, and just spend some time here every day. The best way you're going to get better at doing a position is to just do it more often. Hey, by the way, if you're doing any of this stuff and you have pinching pain on the top of the ankle joint, please stop forcing it. You're forcing it and your bones are just pinching each other, and that's not going to be helpful. Also, if you want one-on-one guidance, you can work with me one-on-one. Check out the link in the description. And then one of my favorites is an eccentric calf lower. So we lift up with both feet, take 1 foot away, lower all the way down. And then we lift up with both feet, lower all the way down with 1 foot until you feel a stretch. And then lift up with both feet, and we repeat really slowly. We lower down, and we get all the way to the bottom. By the way, I was just doing that with dumbbells because that's what I have access to right here, but you should really do this on a step. It's really stable and sturdy, and it's easier to accomplish this effectively. And if you put the work in, you should be able to get into a nice deep squat and hang out here comfortably. But you got to work on your ankle mobility first. I'm Dr. Davis. Motion is lotion, movement is medicine. Get out there and move your body every day.